volume here.
Hey guys, how are you? It's Kathy and Jeanetta from Net Designs, NETT Designs. I'm just trying to fix up my my tripod over here. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Figgy Pudding!
Hey guys.
Thanks you guys for coming. So me and Jeanetta today are going to talk about how to prioritize all of your awesome ideas that you have that you want to do. And we all want to do like 5 gazillion things in one day, right? And everything's so important to get done. And it's impossible to get everything done. I'm just going to move my thing. Okay. So a couple of days ago, I wrote an Instagram post for, hold on one second. Jeanetta.
Yes.
Speak.
Hi guys.
Say hello. Oh, whoops. Sorry,
Hello,
guys.
everybody.
Whoa, there we go. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. As long as you can see me. You guys can see me all right? Can you guys hear me? Because I know it's like 3rd generation on the other end there, and you might not hear me as clear as her. So can you guys I'm watching on my phone too. Let me know if you can't. All good? All right. Thanks, Figgy. Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you so much.
Okay. Loud and clear. Excellent. All
Awesome.
right.
I tried
Good. Yeah, last time we had some technical difficulties, so I want to make sure you guys, we can start from the top.
It was all me.
Hey, Misha. Hey, guys. And if you guys want to share this, please share it out. We'd love to share this with the artist community.
Please share.
This is always a great time with you guys, and we miss being on here and talking to you all. I know I do. So, feel free to share, and Kathy's setting it up there. Yep. Okay.
I'm just trying to get it so I can see. I'm going to read a little bit of this post I wrote the other day.
Yeah, we're going to tell you how this topic came about today.
Yeah, so, okay, I'm just going to start. Okay. First, I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Kathy Weller Art. I'm an artist, art licenser, mug designer, positivity pro. This is, and letterer. This is Jeanetta Gonzales, Net Designs. She is also a fabulous artist, art licenser. She's a coach, and she's an amazing letterer. So we're just here to talk about art and stuff, art and life, and, what are we here to talk about?
So
you
today,
say it.
Actually, Kathy wrote a great Instagram post the other day, and when I saw it, I'm like, this is our next topic.
Okay.
So Kathy, take it away. I want you to
okay.
read that because it was really great.
Thank you. So
yeah,
I wrote, it was all about being behind, okay? I'm starting the week behind, right? Air quotes, because we're always behind. I'm behind on my subscriber email, and I still am right now. I'm behind on my Mug Life email. I'm behind on mug releases, and I'm behind on a few other things too, like a million things. But the truth is, there's always more things that I want to do. There's always going to be more ideas that I'm bursting to execute within the amount of time that I have. But I'm working like in human Earth hours, right? And I can't fit everything in to the amount of time that I mentally that I want to, right? Because we want to take it all out of our head and be like, splat, it's done. And that's just not realistic.
Right.
And that is just a fact of life, and it's totally okay. And it's actually more than okay because I know that I have the vision and ideas. And quite honestly, there's not everybody has like the vision and ideas that we all have, right? If we all have a million ideas, not everybody has that. So I would rather have too many ideas than not enough ideas. And then I can write them down, which I always write them down in a million different notebooks and sticky pads and whatever else. And the other thing is that I have to trust the timing of myself executing things and how things bubble up to the surface and what becomes most important to me to get done. So, so I trust the timing of the universe, and I trust the timing of my own inner universe and how those two synergize. So the wisdom is in that is that I get the stuff done that is meant to get done at the point it's meant to get done in. And the stuff that is most impactful to me at that moment. and that is, most important, has the most consequence, and that I am the most passionate about at that moment is really the stuff that I tend to get done. And we're talking about passion projects and about our entrepreneurial projects. Client work is different. Client work needs to get done right then.
Yes.
Obviously. And actually it's what else is funny is that's kind of been tripping me up this week because I have a fabulous client project, but it's kind of been like taking up some brain space and taking up, the space I have, my creative space, like my space that I work in and develop ideas in. So that also actually is something that's been keeping me, from working on my other stuff, which is fine because that happens, right? That's life. But so my final thought in this Instagram post, and you can see it on my Instagram stream, is in the end, I trust I trust my timing. You have to trust your own timing and what kind of bubbles to the surface, because that's your universal clock with the universe, So, sorry, I'm reading at the same time, just looking at my notes. So in terms of the great timer in the universe, I am probably right on time, even though by my list, I might look like, and I might be telling myself like, you got to get this done. Like, this is not, why haven't you gotten this done yet? This is like important, but the important stuff does come to the surface. And I feel like I work really organically that way. Even if I have 5 pages of things that I need to do, the stuff that's most important in several different buckets, of like why they're important are the things that sort of I get done the quickest or that I execute on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like how you have like your own inner barometer as well as your universal one, right?
They have to link up.
Yeah, you have to be aligned.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that you said it that way. Well, because if you're feeling anxious, you're clearly not aligned, right? So I think it's about trusting and letting go and just being like, you know what, I'm going to get done what I know I need to get done. I know it's most important, my top 3 things or whatever that is.
Yes.
Spend that time on that and get them done and just trust that everything else will happen in the right time when it needs to get done. Yeah. And I know I've done that, and many times deadlines got moved miraculously. Magically,
funny, right? Yeah.
It's like, you need a couple more days. Or so-and-so's not going to be in the office anyway. Why don't you just turn it on Monday? Things like that will happen.
Yep.
So I think it is just about giving it the room and giving it space and not jumbling everything up in this one time, in this instant where you think you have to get it all done right away.
Yes. I also think, to that point, and this is something I have trouble with, but like trying to execute on one thing at a time, because that is how things get done, basically. Like,
I think that's so true. I've been reading about that too, and they said that, I don't know the exact stats or any information, but basically the brain really can't multitask. As much as you think you are multitasking, you're not giving 100% to anything.
Right.
So it's better off that you just take that time. And then isn't it something like you really only have 90 minutes of focus time to do something? Then after that, your brain just kind of goes, blah, and we move on to something else. So really do the Pomodoro method. I don't know if you guys use that. Do you guys use that method? I love it.
I have that app.
You set your timer to 25 minutes, or you can use the app. But they said you can do that, and you can do things in small bursts if you have multiple projects, or you have to work longer, do one for no more than 90 minutes, and then move on to the next thing.
That's really good advice, and I kind of feel like in some ways, I think I shut off at a certain point, and I have to go do something else.
You do.
Because I'm just like, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I need to mix it up, and I'm lucky because I feel like I have multi-passionate stuff that I do, so it's like, I can just move on to do something else, and be fresh doing that, whereas like I'm all rusty doing this other thing because I've been doing it for so long, like in the day.
Right.
But,
I love that.
But, I have that app, and I belong to a group that was talking about this method recently, and I really should try and it freaks me out to have to put myself in like a box that way and like, you have to do that, like, get this done in 25 minutes. But I think that you really do you're able to track your time and track what you get done in the day, you know, better that way. Like, I have a calendar on my wall and I write down every day. I write down in the box. It's quite a big box, but I got a big calendar because I need a big box so I can write down exactly so I can look at it. It's like my what I did today calendar, right? So then I can say, okay, that's what I did today. Like, I don't have to leave my studio and be like, what did I just do for 4 hours? You know what I mean? Like, what did I complete today? But I'm
curious to see if anyone who can chime in, if what they use to track their time and keep a calendar or daily calendar, do you just old school write it down and keep a to-do list every day? Do you do that digitally? Do you have an app? If anybody wants to talk about that.
Yeah, you guys.
I'd love to hear how other people manage their time and their schedules. And stay productive and on top of their deadlines. Yeah,
tell us what you use, because we really want to know. I write stuff down on my calendar, my wall calendar. It's like a wet erase board. And then I also have notebooks that I write stuff down on. And I actually sort of, I switch in between notebooks sometimes. Digital time and a paper list. Huge list maker every day in a planner. That's awesome. Yeah. It's weird. Like, I feel like things permeate more into my mind when I write it down. But I have a lot of different things, a lot of different write down methods.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm sitting right here in front of my desk. And I have this little list pad that I use every day. And,
nice.
And it allows me to write everything down. But when I write everything down, it just gets longer and longer and longer.
Yes.
So I check one off and I add two more. I check one off and I add two more. And I don't know how to fix that. Like,
cool.
I basically...
Here's one of my lists.
I get the top 3 things done, and everything else, if it's little quickie things I can do in 5 minutes, like email this person back, or you know, I don't know, do something quickly. I try to eliminate those as well. And then the larger ones, if they really look like they can be pushed out a day, then they just get pushed out to the next day's list, and on and on. So
I tend to not, like, I write stuff down I prioritize it up here, but I don't always prioritize it on my list. So like I love the idea of prioritization, but I would need to write everything on a sticky and then like move it around.
No, I just write a 1, 2, and 3 next to it, or I highlight it.
Oh, numbers.
So I visually can see, like, those are the ones I gotta focus on if I just glance at it quickly. Because I just brain dump it all out, and then...
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to take the time and rewrite my list over and over again, that to me, that's procrastination. So as long as it's, like, recorded, right? Then I can just, like, highlight it or whatever I need to do.
Yes. I love crossing things off my list. So this notebook is like, these are all lists, and sometimes I cross them off and sometimes I don't, but...
Your notebooks look like mine.
They're crazy. It's like so insane. But another thing I wanted to, another point to this, how do I, prioritize my ideas? How do I pick what's most important to do? The most important ones, the ones I can execute and get out into the world quicker. The ones that I can make income from. Okay. So the ones that I have a system in place to get out into the world. So for instance, mugs. I have my system in place for my mugs. I love to do my mugs, right? They're kind of like, it's like a well-established system I have. So, and it's also something that like I release on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Can you give an example, like what in a month or in a week or whatever, like how does that work for you?
Yes. Oh, okay. So
when do you release them? What is your system so you know that?
Okay, I dropped the ball a little bit last week, guys, and I apologize to anybody who gets my Mug Life email. I release an email every week. Every week I release new mugs.
Oh, wow.
I know. Okay. It's a little crazy, and I started it in the summer because I really wanted to be on a regular release schedule. Mm-hmm. However, I'm still kind of working out what the best way to do that is. But right now I am releasing between like 1 to 4 new mugs a week. and I send an email out. It's you can sign up at kathyweller.com/muglife. That's the name of the email. And
that's cute.
You like that? Yeah. Thank you. So I have the Mug Life email, and I send out my new mugs designs. Basically my system is this. I design a whole bunch of mugs. I copyright my mugs. Then I decide, and I don't always decide this like after I copyright them. I decide them. I mean, I don't decide this right away. I don't decide like break up what week what mugs are going to get. That's sort of more organic. After I copyright them, I'm like, okay, so now I'm going to release like what mugs work together to release together. You know, like can I pocket these two together? So for instance, today I have, and I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit granular here. I don't mean to get too detailed on this, but it's because now I'm talking. Like for instance, today I have two new unicorn mugs. Woohoo! So those I'm going to release today. But what I have to do is like basically I have my system. So, you know, I post them to Etsy, I post them to my Shopify store, which goes on my direct on my website. So I sell them in two different shops. Then I post the email. So I have like this whole, you know, so basically I have a framework in which to get my mugs out into the world, you know? And it's kind of like, for instance, my first coloring book that I just did, like that was the Cats at Work coloring book I did this summer. That was really, I had done one other self-published book on CreateSpace, but it was years ago. And so it kind of felt like I was reinventing the wheel a little bit. So that to me it would have been a bigger project because I had to wrap my head around like best practices. And a lot of this stuff, it's like, you have to figure out those best practices on your own, you know, because you can read a lot of books and stuff, but you have to, not everybody does everything exactly the same as you, and vice versa. You don't do exactly the same. You don't have exactly the same way of working in Photoshop or whatever as anybody else. So,
sure.
You know, so
that's good. So you have a system where you know that this is going to be the thing that makes you money.
Yeah. So
cool. Somebody's multitasking.
Oh, nice.
So she's making a pattern as she's listening. But that's awesome because yes, exactly. We're getting things off your list. But I agree with you. I think it's something about how you spend your time and how you're prioritizing your time to get the things done that are really important to you, that are gratifying and rewarding, and also, you know, helping you make a living, right?
Yeah.
Those are important.
It is important. And not only that, it's like, it's fulfilling too. I mean, let's like put it on the table, right? We love to make money from our work because it's what we give to the world and they're giving us back. It's like a give and take, and I so appreciate it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, that's what you're giving and that's the value. So it's okay. You know, it's just, money's not a dirty word. You know, we all have to make a living, and we all want to make a living doing something that we're passionate about and that we love. So it's okay if something you're passionate about can also make you an income. You know what I mean? So that's how we want it to be, right? Like that's the ideal scenario. Every day we're getting up out of bed and loving what we're doing and making a living on the things that we're doing every day. You know, it's adding value to our lives and other people's lives,
an income.
And it allows other people, like, I just lost my words. Basically, it's like, I'm so appreciative and other people are appreciative of what I do. So it's like, it's just a big love fest, basically. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's awesome, Kathy. Yeah, so I think, like you were saying before, it's about you're trying to balance your client work as well.
Yeah.
I want to get back to that because I think that's also part of like making this issue with making time, right? Like, how do you make time? You know, we're speaking in terms of like our work life. You know, how do we do our own personal projects and our passion projects and the things we want to do to make ourselves money that are fulfilling to us, as well as, you know, doing the things that we normally do to make money, which is like, you know, our regular client work or our day job or whatever that might be. And then you have the whole other layers on top of that too, like family and, you know, friends and all the other stuff that you have to make time for. And then on top of that, it's hard to balance everything, as we all know. But I think in terms of like being an artist and trying to get it all done, I think you're right. I think that the client work, it shouldn't, I've read a lot of books on this stuff, and they say that your client work and that other kind of stuff for other people when it comes to work should not take priority over the things that you want to do to progress your life and your work life and your own project. So I know, which book was it I was reading? Personal projects always turn into client work for me.
Yeah.
I try to remember that. Yeah, that's a great, thank you. Thank you so much, Shelly. So true.
You're so in tune with yourself.
You gotta keep your eye on the prize, right? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Keep your eye on the prize. Like, you're doing this for a reason. You're doing these personal projects for a reason, right?
Yeah. And if you're lucky, and if you play your cards right, like they turn into
sure do,
paid projects. So that's good.
Yeah. So I think, and that's what I was reading about. That like, make that priority every day, even if it's like 10 minutes a day. To slay, get your stuff done.
I love
that. Get your personal work done, because those 10 minutes are going to add up at the end of the week. You're going to have 30, or more minutes that you've actually put into the week on your own work. Even if you only do have those 10 minutes, because at least you're chipping away at it and you're making some progress towards the things that you really want. And you can eventually get them out into the world and move on.
10 minutes a day.
Yeah, there's a mug. 10 minutes a day.
I love it.
So,
and it's true, because focus goes where energy flows.
There you go.
And that is so true.
And if you're focusing all your time on other people's projects, you're making them all their money and making them everything, giving them what they need. But what do you get out of that other than maybe some cash? But in the end, unless it's something, maybe it's a licensing project or something that's going to be rewarding in the end. And that's a different priority, right? But I'm talking about like 9 to 5-ish client work, the daily grind kind of stuff. Like that's, oops, sorry, I just moved my little thing here. That's not really what your priority should be, right? Your priority should mostly be in the things that you want to do for yourself, and get the value and the rewards from that. And if you can take those 10 minutes a day or whatever you have time for, really pour your time into that, and your efforts into that, because that's, at the end of the day, is what you really want, right? You really want to be doing those things, not the other stuff.
Right. And create a business out of it. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I think it is about finding that balance in your work life, but I think prioritizing your personal projects. And I say this all the time, and trust me, I don't do it all the time. I should have a huge portfolio of new work right now for the last 4 months, and I have not made that time. And because other stuff has come up or whatever, and I've kind of, and I haven't made the priorities. I mean, I feel like I'm all talk sometimes, but life does get in the way, and I do remind myself and give myself a break when I know, like you said earlier, all about like going back to your original post, like you just gotta be gentle to yourself about it. It's like, you know what, it's not happening right now. I'm gonna trust that this time will, the time to do the things I want to do will be here soon enough. Maybe these other things have to happen right now so I can make the money to have the space to do the things I need to do later this year. And that's how I'm looking at it. I'm not beating myself up because I haven't gotten 10 more licensing deals this year, or whatever. You know, I'm just saying that hypothetically, but I'm just letting myself off the hook. You should. So and I'll get stuff done when I get it done.
And to your point, actually, about not beating yourself up, about not finishing your list and not making time to do these things, like everything in its own time. One of my things about having a list and then you're not finishing something is it's not developed, like it's not baked yet. You know what I mean? Like it's not ready yet to come out of the oven. Like maybe you need to, and this is something I do, maybe I need to learn XYZ before I tackle this, or I have to connect the dots someplace else in order to execute on this piece of business that I want to get done, for myself, something that I'm developing. And we really can't beat ourselves up for that, because it's really like about your personal growth, you know, and like allowing, because when you're doing other stuff, the wheels are turning on the other things in the back of your head too, you know, like, so you can't, you're like unconsciously working on other stuff as you're working on stuff that's right in front of your face. And back when I had a day job, it was really interesting because I learned so much about my own self and about being self-aware about my creative mind when I had a day job and I was plugging away doing work for somebody else, and how I could work like in my mind on different levels creatively, and how like if you're doing a task, like you're doing an immediate task, you can be working on other stuff while you're doing that task, other stuff in other ways. So I would be working on like for instance, a web ad or something, doing something very rote, something very immediate, like color by numbers. I know what I'm doing mostly, you know, I mean, in terms of the technical stuff, the design stuff, you know, you have to a little more thought involved, but still like, right. It's not like rocket science, but I wrote so much Cats at Work in my day job, like I cannot even tell you. And I came up with like, it was amazing. Like I had I was working on so many different cylinders, and I was actually also thinking about how I did get through the day. So I wasn't just working on like my day job work and Cats at Work, but I'm also thinking about like all the psychological stuff about how you get through the day. So it's like, I really want to write a book on getting through like how, like on your mental gymnastics that you do when you're at your day job, and little tricks that you can do to kind of get yourself in the right headspace to do both, to do your day job and your dream job. Anyway, so I'm totally going off the rails here, but basically while you're working on one thing in the forefront, there's often you can be working on other stuff in the background. And I think, it's very effectively used time. So if you have to do something that's kind of like, oh, I have to do this and I don't want to, you can think about, if it's mind numbing enough, you can find other ways to use part of your brain for other things. So
yeah. Does anybody have any tips they want to share, and how they balance their time, or maybe even just be gentle with themselves and giving themselves space and room to get things done, or maybe not get things done and let it go? I don't know. Does this resonate with any of you guys?
Are you guys feeling us?
It's been so quiet today. I don't know how many people are actually on the app, but
it says
if you
8.
can talk to us, yeah.
We're getting some yellow hearts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cram in more than is reasonable. It's usually crap, waste of time anyway. Really, Shy? So you feel like you do a lot of crap work? That's interesting. Just
no, I think what
treat yourself right.
Sorry, I think what
remember. Yeah, you have to treat yourself right, because beating yourself up over not getting anything done is not gonna help you get more done and do it right. Right. I'm sorry, I'm listening, but working on a private project. No worries.
And honestly, I think that
I agree with you.
When you need downtime, like, that's okay. I try not to beat myself up over down.
Perfect example. This weekend, I got behind on my laundry list, and I didn't even touch it. And I had plans to get to it on Saturday. It didn't happen. Plans to get to it on Sunday. I'm like, I have time on Sunday. I'm going to stand and knock out 2 or 3 things. Didn't do it. And I went and had fun and enjoyed my Sunday. And I came home and I ended up, doing other things. And I was like, at the end of the day, I looked at my list and I was like, oh my God, I didn't do all this.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? And you know what? I let it go because I realized I had a really great weekend. I was able to get some sleep. I was able to hang out with some family and see some friends. And I went and saw some awesome artwork and I went to some galleries and I got to do some things that, I haven't done in a while. And I feel like I never have the time to do anyway. Mm-hmm. So why not just celebrate that? Right. And that
Definitely.
to me was more important than trying to knock a couple more things off my list. And I actually felt really good. I made that decision and I was like, you know what? This was good. I'm glad I went and had fun this weekend. Now this week I just have to make it productive. I'm not going to kill myself making it productive, but I'll do what I need to do to get it done without killing myself. Right. And I've really just been like, if I have to get up an hour earlier or if I have to stay up an hour later, or if there's some corners I can cut, I'll do what I need to do, but again, not going to the extreme of where I'm exhausted or, I'm stressing myself out. And I've gotten really good at that. And to the point where I'm almost like lazy. Like, it'll get done, but that.
I'm kind of lazy.
Yeah, but it also speaks to what you said before about just trusting that, it's all going to work out. And I think, like Shelly was saying, like, she only has 4 hours of really good work time in her. And I think I'm probably like that too, because there's a certain time of the day of my creativity kicks in. Yeah. And I know for me, it's usually midday and not in the morning.
Yeah.
So in the morning hours, I like to use my time differently, more admin stuff, or I go to the gym, or run errands, or have my doctor's appointments, or do things in the morning because I know that I'll be more productive that way. And if it's a small project or something, I could start in the morning, like do research for something or whatever, sketch, draw, whatever. There's things I can do and use that time wisely. So it's like your, what do they call it? Like your, it's something like your clock.
Yeah, like you're maximizing what you're.
Yeah, I can't think of the term right now, but whatever the times that you're most creative, use those times of the day to do, like, Shelly, those 4 hours of the day would be the times that you knock out your best work, right? Because you know that your brain's going to be on it, thinking in that way. So that's how and I'm like, okay, well, this morning, I knew I was getting on Periscope with you, so I spent this morning doing other things that I didn't want to start a big project because I knew I'd have to stop. And then my brain would be half thinking about that while I'm on with you. So I want to, be on here 100%. So I did little things this morning that I could get done. And then knowing I want to get off the phone with you, I'll have that dedicated time, especially when I'm more creative later in the day, to really like dig into the other stuff. And so if I'm able to balance my day like that, granted, stuff comes up, emails, phone calls, requests, and I just always know that's going to happen. So, just give yourself a break when that happens too, because you just got to give yourself space for that stuff. Or like, somebody will call and they'll be like, oh, can you do this now? Or somebody needs me to leave and go take care of something, or I have the printers done early and I can go to the printers and pick something up now. Your day will get changed around. And I'm really flexible with that. Like, I'm like, you know what? That's cool. I wasn't planning on doing that this evening, but now I'm going to go, or I wanted to get like more time done on X, Y, and Z, but it's okay. I'm going to go take care of this other thing. And just like Sunday, I knew that I was having a good day and I was enjoying myself and I wasn't going to let the thoughts of work bog me down and ruin my day. Right. So I think it's really just a mental game too. And just knowing what you have the time for, what you have the space for, when you're at your best during the day, when you can be there and show up in the best way possible for the things that you need to do, and just kind of planning your day around that.
Yeah, that's awesome advice. Hey, listen, are you a night person or a morning person, or do you flip back and forth?
That's an awesome question. I know that I'm a night person. I do my best work probably like 3 or 4 until like midnight, 1 in the morning, sometimes even 2. Yeah. I'm extremely creative second half of the day. Yeah. When I think that might just be more mental because I've been trying to figure this out. And I think that's because the phones aren't ringing, the emails aren't coming in later in the day. So I know I don't have those distractions coming in. So I just kind of like, that brain kind of part of my brain just kicks in and I just start working on that kind of work. Yeah. I think I'm really easily distracted during the daytime hours when I know that the emails are chiming and things are happening. And so I've noticed just for me that I'm more creative later in the day, and I love staying up late and getting work done. But I've had to switch that over I'd say on and off. I've been really trying to be more of a morning person, or at least have a better schedule, because I don't like starting my day so late.
I don't either.
And I feel like if I go to bed late, then I don't get anything really going until later the next day. I'm tired. I'm sluggish in the morning, especially if I had to get up early and do something the next day when I stayed up late the night before, which often happens. And then I'm just useless, so then it just skews everything and messes it all up. So if I have an opportunity to stay up later and get work done, I will. Because I know that I'm at my best. But for the most part, I try to shut it down. I don't have a normal bedtime and get up and start my day, my work day at like 8, maybe 9 if the latest. And then I use those morning hours to do the other stuff that I need to do, or like I said, the smaller projects. Or if I'm feeling it, I'll dive into some of the other stuff, the bigger stuff. Or if I have to, I'll dive into the bigger stuff because I have a deadline or whatever. But again, I kind of manage how I'm feeling and how I know my clock works. But if I could, in a perfect world, I would stay up till like 1, 2 and work and get up a little later in the day. But then I feel like my day, like I lost the daylight, and I'm losing my morning, and I'm starting so late, and and it just doesn't feel right. I've noticed for me, I need a schedule. I need a better schedule. So that's a new thing for me. I've switched over.
Well, congratulations for being able to do it. I flip back and forth, but
I flip back and forth still.
I have a super inner struggle about this, because it's like I am so creative late at night. It's crazy. And when I'm in that space, it's so incredible.
You don't have to shut it down.
I'm just like, this is great. I have so many, my ideas are flowing. I'm organized in terms of my thought process. And I write a lot at night. I will write on my phone in bed, because I can't stop. I'm just like, oh my God, this is a great post or whatever I'm writing, this is this is a great idea. I have this concept. I have to get it down. I'm going to look at it tomorrow morning and see, what the heck I just wrote. I don't know. But yeah, I have this inner struggle with this, because I feel the same way about mornings. It really affects, I don't like it when it affects how I feel about myself. If I get up really late, I'm like, oh my God, I just shot my whole day. You know what I mean?
I do that too.
It's just not good. Do you ever try to dedicate certain days for specific tasks?
That's a really good thing to do. And I've tried that, but because my schedule is so erratic, that it hasn't always worked for me. I think it's really awesome. If you can do it, do it. Like Fridays are your admin days, or your billing days, or the days you clean up the files on your computer and you run your errands, or it's the day you just clear your schedule to do your artwork, and you don't do anything else. I love the idea of having dedicated days. That way you've made the time during the week to get the things done, like your personal projects and the things that you really want to work on. I think that's awesome and genius if you can do it. I've tried it. I don't know. I'm not so successful with it. And maybe it's because I can be a little bit of a procrastinator and I am not the best at time management. I'm going to admit all these things because I do this with my clients and I try to keep them accountable and keep them on track. And I'm really good with other people, but I have to say I'm not the best for myself because maybe I'm a little ADD during the day and I want to go out and play or I'm just not feeling this right now and I'll put it off till later or whatever it is. But again, for me, I've been able to balance that because I don't beat myself up anymore. Yeah. I just don't. I'll get it done. It'll get done,
I think
that's how I've done that.
What's most effective for me is, and I'm not saying I'm perfect either, I'm not, but I try and look at it like a week. So, in terms of day to day, that would be awesome. And I've read about artists who do that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's amazing. Like, I think that's amazing.
Awesome.
You can get up, you know, go swimming or go to the gym this time to this time and do this and this during like different buckets of time. Like, I'm just like, wow. I look at it like the week, like, what do I need to get done this week? And, for instance, like what's cool is, you know, you make certain things for yourself that you have to get done, like promises, right? So my mugs, like I have to get these ready for like, you know, for the date, the release of that day, for that day of the week. So I try to do like my mug stuff on Mondays, and you know what I mean? But that moves around sometimes too. But usually it's like, I look at it like on the week, what do I want to get done this week instead of by the day? Because day to day, like I can't really box myself in that way, I think, time-wise, you know?
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, I agree. I'm like you too. I kind of go with the flow and how I'm feeling, and yeah. And I do look at my week as a whole. And do you guys look at your week as a whole? You guys still with us here on Periscope? Do you start on Sunday maybe and like, okay, these are my priorities for the week. Then I break it down into tasks per day.
Yep.
You have designated days of the week that are just for things that you know you need to do because maybe you have more of a set schedule. So talk to us. Like, is there stuff that you sometimes? Okay.
Walter Silva Art.
So
sometimes you do week or day.
Sometimes, yeah, you start your week looking at the week as a whole.
Yeah, I just, it's more organic to the way that I work. Most of the time, I have a schedule.
What projects I have, and unfortunately, that when I said that, I just caught myself because I am also basing it on other people's work, right?
Oh, yeah.
Time for me, and you know what? I work for I use the planners, but I have week spreads for that reason.
Nice.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
It's awesome for that.
It's just the way my mind works better, too.
I have a little bit of a 9 to 5 mentality that I still have residual that I have not been able to get rid of.
Just groceries on Monday, yeah.
I've worked for myself for, I don't know, 6 years now, but I still have that in there, like other people I have to make money, I have to work for the man, I have to prioritize their work and get things done first, right? Which in some cases is true because you're on a deadline and you gotta get paid, you gotta finish it for them too. But I still think I prioritize other people's stuff a little bit more than my own. And that for me has been something I've been working hard on, like really breaking that, because my personal stuff's not going to get done.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's like at the end of the week, I'm going to be like, oh, going to put it on next week's list, going to put it on next week, and then the end of the summer or whatever.
Yeah.
Geez, I didn't even accomplish anything this quarter, or I didn't get that thing done this quarter. So
yeah, hey, Ronnie.
Also looking at things per quarter too, right, or every 90 days. Hey, Ronnie, I think looking at things per quarter and every 90 days too, setting yourself goals, I think that really
Seasons
helps.
matter too.
That way you can break it down per month and then per week, per task. So then you know at the end of the month you got X amount of things done towards that 90-day goal.
Swirly
right?
Swirly designs maps out by the month. And Frenchelle says that she gets more done with her schedule. Done by the week. Is that what you said, Frenchelle? Yeah. So sorry, people were chatting. So
no, it's perfect because I can't see them all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I love that. I think you guys are helping me too because I love to hear how other people schedule their time.
Yeah.
And get their goals accomplished. And it just gives me more advice to give others too when I'm coaching people because everybody works differently and I don't always want to tell people you have to do it this way because it doesn't work for everyone.
No.
If you're a night owl, then we're going to work on that. We're going to work around this time. I don't, maybe too, because I'm French. If brain freezes and I make a plan to do
yeah.
French. Okay. I think she's talking about the culture. It's, everybody's different. Like you said, everybody does a different thing. People like writing it out. Other people like using apps and planners and calendars, digital calendars. I do a little bit of both. I have Todoist. Are you guys familiar with that? Todoist. And it's just another list builder that you can use on your computer or on your phone. But I like it because if you get the extended version, it actually really tracks things
Oh.
in your productivity, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can
Cool.
set times and reminders and things on there. You're working on a blog post on this. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully we're getting you some info. Yeah, maybe we'll do a follow-up blog post on this too. Yeah, it's just really, it's interesting I'm just so interested and fascinated by how other people, schedule their time, plan their time, get stuff done. It's amazing.
I was telling Jeanetta earlier today, I was telling you about my big whiteboard. Did I mention this in this Periscope yet?
No, I don't think so.
So I actually have two. They're on the other side of my camera, so I can't really show you right now, and everything's set up with the tripod. But I have these huge, like, whiteboards. It's like a monthly, it's huge. It's like 3 feet. They're like 3 feet by 2 feet or something. I have two of them. And one is what I did today. So every day I'll write. This is actually, it's funny. I don't think that we meant to drive the conversation in this direction today, but it's actually really interesting because what I started doing is writing, like, I write what I did every day on the squares. It's like a big square. So I am able to, I have enough space to write exactly like what I did today on each square. But I also write into the future. So like this day, it's like I have the Mug Life email and my releases that day. And then on this day, I have my accountability group on that day. And I have my Jeanette Periscopes on that day. So on different days. So it's kind of like I can look at it and think, okay, well, for this week, I have to do this, this, and this. These are the things that are already set that I need to do that haven't really been developed yet, maybe, but that I do every week. And then I fill in the blanks with what I did that day, the rest of the time. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
But something I did that didn't actually work out. This is actually good. It's a good like failure thing. I did another calendar. So I have the things I did today calendar, the things I'm doing today or that I did today. And then next to it, I had a calendar. I have one that I have not touched. Okay. And it's supposedly the things that I'm going to do or the things that I have planned to do for the next month. And I haven't even, I don't think my mind can go there. You know, I can't like plan so far ahead. I mean, I can.
I know. I'm bad about that. I'm like, my brain goes so far ahead that I can't see what I need to do right now. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And I actually
messes me
took
up.
down this thing I had on the wall, which was kind of like a wish list of people I want to reach out to, projects I want to do, type of things I want to get involved in. It's just kind of like my wish list for like my business, right? And I have that up to kind of remind me that I need to start chipping away at these things. And I have like a little plan every week to like, you know, of what I'm doing to start those things. But again, I haven't been the best at it. But I just actually took that off the wall because it was a little too big picture. And I think it was feeling a little bit overwhelmed when I realized I wasn't accomplishing those things right away because they are so big and they're so kind of silly. I mean, I thought they would like encourage me. That's why I put them up there. But now it kind of went the other way because I was like, oh, it's just seems like it's never going to happen. So I don't want to feel that way about feel guilty about it when I look at it. So I took it down and now I'm going to restructure it into like 90-day plans or 60-day plans or whatever to get some of this stuff done. And I just, and here's another thing. You said your accountability group, right?
Yeah.
I just started one too, and I have a couple actually going on. One that hasn't started yet, and another one that I think will be starting. And I'm actually excited about that because I need that, and I think we all need that, right? If you guys have people in your lives that are doing sort of similar things that are, you know, in your tribe, I think it's really important to like just, especially if you work from home, to have folks that you can reach out to on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis and talk about your goals and make sure that they're holding you accountable. Because if you're like me and you're doing work for other people all the time and you're prioritizing that, you're not getting it all done. So, or at least even staying on course. You're getting things done, but you're not always staying on course. So I think it's great to have those people in your corner who can help kind of push you along and keep you going. And I just hired a coach too, which I'm really excited about. It's a 6-month program.
Wow. Good for you.
I'm kicking myself in the butt. I'm giving myself a serious business boot camp scenario going on here.
Good for you.
You know, things have been up and down for me in my business in the last couple of years. And I realized this year, you know, it was a big enlightening year. A lot of things that I personally had to come to terms with. I think I was kind of had my head in the sand about, or I was hoping and wishing and that things would change, and things weren't changing because I wasn't changing, right? So I realized that big time, especially this summer, and made some changes. I'm working from home again, got rid of my studio, and I'm just kind of bringing everything back in and just kind of honing in on what I need to do. And so, accountability groups are amazing. If you can afford or get a coach, do it, or have a friend that can coach you, that you know will be like your boss and keep you on task, because if you need that. If you're somebody who's like really, really, I mean, you don't need any of this conversation today. If you're like
that, really I don't even know what you're doing here, because.
But that's not us, and most artists aren't that way. Yeah. So we're just too multi-passionate. So I find for me, I need a team. Right? Yes. I need a team rooting for me, and I need a team helping me, nudging me gently, or even sometimes a little more than gently to get stuff done. Because I am, I want to do this. I want to do that. Like that list on my wall. I need to like break that down in bite-sized chunks because it's a little too much. And having a coach or having an accountability group can help you sort that out and help you figure out like, okay, this is what you can do right now. This is what's, and then what you can do later and later and later to get there. And I just really need that. And I realized that I can't do it by myself. I just can't. I can't accomplish these things alone. And I need the help to do that. So I highly advise another tip.
I think that's why we're all here, because we're all here to lend each other a helping hand. That's what this is all about. It's all about helping each other. Yeah.
Right.
So I also feel that with accountability groups, I feel very lucky because it's kind of interesting who you end up in an accountability group with. I am in an accountability group that I met through a class I took online, and the class was not an art class, right? So it wasn't like, it's very creative, but it wasn't an art class or anything related to art licensing or illustration or anything. It has to do with stuff that I seek to accomplish in the future and that I'm working towards now. So this is actually really interesting because the other people in the group aren't, well, one of them is an artist, but a different kind of an artist. But what's interesting is being in a group like this with other people, we all have a similar goal in terms of one element of our business, and then we all have different concentrations. So it's really cool because it does broaden your horizons if you're in a group with other people who, depending on what the goals are of the group, I think it's really cool because I never would have met these people unless I took this class. And I get so much value from their wisdom and just from our interaction and learning from them and them learning from me. Like, we learned so much about these different aspects of the bigger picture of what we're going to do, but also about the different little aspects of each of our own businesses. They're more in service-based businesses than some of what I do, which is oftentimes product-based. But it's fascinating to be in a group like that with people with varying interests and varying goals for their business. So, because I think it's easier to stay in your own box sometimes, but it is and it's harder sometimes to kind of have a common ground with people in different businesses and stuff. But it can be really enriching for you to and open your mind in different ways to be in a structured group like that with other people in completely different industries as you. So,
and you could pick up tips from them, like how they market or how they do certain aspects of their business, or how they might have a virtual assistant. Like, I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely. I think that does help when you get outside of your industry, and then you can definitely see how other people in other businesses, because we're just all running businesses, right? Yep. So so we do need business tools, services. And it's great that you're doing that because you're going to learn so much more, I think, too.
It totally opens you up to different ways of doing things, like learning how people do things in different ways more efficiently. And also, like, who knows? Maybe they'll need an artist like me for something sometime, you know? So you get to kind of
It's exactly how it works. It's just like
cross-pollinate.
Like in a networking group,
right?
Cool. Everyone needs each other and can help one another and have different services and things going on. And you never know. They might need somebody. They might want to buy your mugs and put them in their store, you know?
Yeah, I don't know about... So. I don't know if I'm into that, but yeah. That depends. That depends on the deal. It's kind of complicated. Right. But I had one other point to this. Oh, okay. Bigger picture, right? There are so many things that we can learn about that apply to our business that perhaps from the outset it looks more narrow and like the problem and then how to solve the problem or the issue at hand. But there's so many things that are applicable. Like if when you learn how to sort of take different scenarios and think, okay, how does this work for me? Like how can I apply this to what I'm doing? That's another like light bulb moment that can happen when you're working with groups like with other people who are not in the same industry as you. It's interesting. It kind of opens your mind to thinking about your business in different ways too. And like how their problems and how they're solving or how we all help each other solve our own problems. Like how can that apply to what I'm doing? So it's kind of it's like a brain opener. So,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Cool. So surround yourself with as many communities as you have time for.
Yeah.
As going back to the topic, that you can fit in, because I do think especially if you work from home yeah, it's really, I always stress that you need community. I from the beginning, I didn't have a community, and I see the difference between then and now. I felt lost. I didn't have anyone to talk to during the day. I didn't have anyone who understood what I was going through. I didn't have anyone to motivate me or inspire me except for people I saw online. I read their blogs or, whatever, but that's just not the same, right? It's nice to have, like, again, those people who you can reach out to and who are in your corner who can really, like, have these conversations that, we're having together right now. And that's what we're on here, like you said, because it really is about finding your tribe and building that community around you, because there's just no way you can do it. And I have a friend who lost her job, a corporate job recently, and she's really bored at home. Sorry if you're watching this. But she's like, I'm really bored at home. And she is so creative and has so many ideas for herself. And I'm looking at her like, you need a community. Like, you're sitting at home by yourself because all your friends are at work all day. You just left that world. And so she doesn't really know, other than me and maybe a couple others, people who are, who can hang out with her during the day or talk to her during the day. And I'm really trying to be there for her because I'm like, this is what you need. Like, of course you're bored. Like, I would be terribly bored and not knowing what to do with myself and not feeling motivated, though she has a million great ideas. And I'm like, you should be using this free time you have right now to like, get stuff off the ground. Like, go girl, make it happen, But again, when you're in that mentality, the 9-to-5 mentality, and you don't have the support system, it's a shift. It's got to be a mental shift for her. And I think that community building, if she just surrounds herself with other creative people who are doing it, are making stuff happen. Like, I see her light up. I see her get excited about stuff that she wants to do. And she's like, wow, other people are doing this. I can do this, You can do it. See that. You have to experience that.
You can do it. Like, it's just a switch that you've got to flip. That's all. And obviously learning. Anyway, I'm on a soapbox about this, I know.
Yeah, and that's a whole nother topic too, like mindset stuff. But again, like, it's about using that time and building that community and using your time to get your stuff done. And, I see she's not using her time right now, and I'm like, this is a gift.
Yes.
This is an awesome gift. Like,
yes.
Make some lemonade, girl, make some lemonade. So, so, and especially, I would kill to have nothing but time and, severance check or whatever, it's like, let's do it. So yeah, I think that's kind of the moral here. It's like, just find that time to make it happen. really prioritize the things that you want to do, right? Isn't that what we've been saying?
Yes.
And over other people's requests and work that may not be serving you.
Right.
Right.
You got to get that stuff done, but not at the expense. Like, you got to prioritize your own stuff, because that's your little garden that you're growing. Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is. You guys have any comments or questions or anything? I think we've been on for an hour here.
Oh my gosh.
This stuff can go on. I mean, there's just so many amazing topics when you work for yourself and you're home and you're creative, and
I know
we all have the same, we all have this going through the same stuff. So, did we lose you all? Okay.
I know. Thank you guys so much for coming today.
Yeah, thank you.
If you came in late, you can watch the replay if you dare, because it's a long one, I guess. It's like an hour, so.
Yeah, come back, watch the replay. You're not going to take it down, right? Are you?
Me?
You're going to leave it up? Yeah, you're going to leave it up?
Oh, yeah, no, I'll just leave it up.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll put it, I think I'll also probably put it on my YouTube channel, Kathy Weller Art. So, and Jeanette, I'm going to send it to Jeanette too, so if you want to put it up. Yeah,
so we'll be doing that. Actually, I have a YouTube channel I haven't been working on, so that's something on my list as well.
Do it! I just started sprucing mine up, guys, so definitely come by and watch some of my videos.
I love it, Kathy. Okay, guys.
Coloring tips and
hopefully
stuff.
that was helpful today. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming, and like for the 9 of you that are still here, like, wow, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, okay. All right, I'm gonna hang us up now. It's so confusing with the screen here. Okay, bye guys. See ya.
Bye.